It began like any ordinary afternoon across the Iberian Peninsula. People were working, children were at school, and the streets of Madrid, Lisbon, and smaller towns bustled with daily life. But then, without warning, everything changed. In one moment, entire neighborhoods went dark. Traffic lights stopped working. Trains froze mid-track. Elevators stalled between floors. From city centers to rural regions, millions of people were suddenly thrown into a state of confusion and uncertainty. The blackout swept through parts of Spain and Portugal, lasting for several hours. As news spread rapidly on social media, anxiety began to rise. Was it a cyber attack? A foreign intrusion into national infrastructure? Or something even more sinister? Within hours, government officials and energy operators stepped forward to address the growing speculation. This is not a cyber attack, they stated firmly. The clarification was swift, but questions remain. If it wasn't a hack, then what had caused such a widespread and synchronized failure across two nations? Early reports from Red Eléctrica de España and REN, the national grid operators of Spain and Portugal, began to shed light on a far more technical, but no less alarming, scenario. A critical fault had occurred at one of the high-voltage interconnection points, an essential node in the web of power transmission lines that links various parts of Europe. This fault, whether due to a technical malfunction or a sudden overload, triggered an automatic safety protocol designed to prevent damage to equipment. As one region shut down to protect itself, the ripple effect traveled across the grid, causing power stations and distribution centers to disconnect from the network, plunging city after city into darkness. The European power grid is a marvel of modern engineering, an intricately connected system that allows countries to share electricity, balance demand, and support one another during shortages. But with that interconnectedness comes fragility. A fault in one node can lead to a cascade of automatic shutdowns if not isolated quickly. That's what experts believe happened here. Not sabotage, not software breach, but a systemic vulnerability, a domino effect that revealed how tightly interwoven our energy systems have become. As the blackout dragged on, emergency services were flooded with calls. People stuck in elevators, hospitals switching to backup generators, businesses forced to halt operations. In both Spain and Portugal, authorities worked urgently to restore power in phases, beginning with critical infrastructure, hospitals, transport hubs, and water treatment facilities. The power began returning after a few hours, but the memory of those dark moments left a deep impression on millions. For those affected, the blackout wasn't just inconvenient, it was unsettling. In an age where so much depends on constant electricity, from heating and communication to security and digital finance, a few hours without it feels like a leap back in time. The incident also reignited important conversations among energy experts and policymakers. How can we better safeguard Europe's grid against cascading failures? Are current protocols sufficient in the face of increasing energy demands, climate stress, and geopolitical tension? And perhaps most importantly, how do we educate the public about these systems so panic doesn't take hold the moment the lights go out? Though officials have ruled out a cyber attack, the Iberian blackout served as a valuable stress test for the region's resilience. It exposed technical flaws and communication gaps. But it also demonstrated the importance of transparency and rapid response. The truth is, as Europe transitions toward greener, smarter energy systems, incorporating renewables, digital controls, and cross-border infrastructure, the risk of unforeseen failures may grow. Investing in grid stability, improving fail-safe mechanisms, and building public trust will be essential. In the end, Spain and Portugal overcame the darkness. Lights came back on, trains resumed their routes, and life returned to normal. But the blackout won't soon be forgotten. It served as a wake-up call, not only for the governments and engineers who maintain the grid, but for all of us who rely on it every hour of every day. Because sometimes, it takes a few hours of darkness to illuminate just how connected and vulnerable our modern world truly is.